So are you wondering, is my door safe? Is it running correctly? Let me show you how to go through an inspection of your door. I'm going to start by taking a look at the door, making sure the panels aren't split or cracked, especially at the top. I'm going to make sure they're not damaged. If it's a wood door, I'm going to make sure it's not rotted at the bottom, splitting or falling apart. I'm going to make sure my hinges are tight and that they're not damaged or bent. I'm going to make sure all the lags and bolts are in place. Now, if your panels are cracked, damaged, or dented, you may be able to just replace the panel, but most likely you'll need a new door. Now that we've taken a look at the door, let's take a look at the spring system. This one's torsion, which is over the top of the door, and you can see this one's in good shape. I'm looking for corrosion. I'm looking to see obviously if it's broken, and I'm going to look at the spring mount, make sure it's not loose or coming away from the ceiling or the wall. Now whatever you do, don't touch it. It's gonna hurt you if you mess with it. Now I say the spring can hurt you because it's under a tremendous amount of tension. If you're not trained on how to fix it, it can be dangerous. I do not recommend you do this at home. Now next on the list, emergency release. You wanna make sure you can get out of the house in case of emergency, like your garage door opener not working or a loss of power. Now part of your weather seal is your bottom rubber, or what we call in the industry an astragal. What did he call me? So what am I looking for on my bottom rubber? Well, I'm looking for tears, any rips, whether it's coming away from the door, or maybe it doesn't even reach the end. Also part of your weather seal is what we refer to as the stop molding. It is run along the sides and above the door. It seals the gap between the building and your door with this vinyl strip. You should be looking for any tears, any damage to it, any curling. Make sure it makes good contact with your garage door. Now some garage doors, they won't have this vinyl, won't have this stop molding. There'll be a gap there. In that case, it's probably cold in your garage. If you find your garage door does not have stop molding, like this one, it may be added to seal the garage and make it quite a bit warmer inside. Now during this inspection, we're not gonna leave out your garage door opener. What you wanna make sure is you have safety eyes. Since 1993, all garage door openers are required to have safety eyes. If your opener does not have safety eyes, they cannot be added, so I would recommend a new garage door opener. Also, part of your inspection is the safety reversal feature on your garage door opener. Simply place a 2x4 board down on the ground so the safety eyes don't see it. When the door strikes the board, it should reverse if it's working properly. If it doesn't, you're going to need to check your force settings. Now with your extension spring system, you're going to go ahead and take a look at the springs. Make sure they aren't broken, because if they are, it's most likely the door won't work. You're gonna need new ones. Now, a spring doesn't have to be broken in half to stop working. With extension springs, many times what will happen is the coils will gap. The spring just won't have the tension it needs to lift the weight of the door. Now, with your extension spring system, a very important component of that is your safety cable. What it does is it contains the spring from flying around the garage in case it were to break. Now, if you don't have these cables on your garage door, you're taking a big chance with your family's safety. What you're also looking for is obvious frays in your operating cables, which are separate than your safety cables. You want to make sure your pulleys are intact, that the bearings aren't falling out of it, and that you don't have a severe shake to your garage door when you open and close it. Now, the next thing you want to do is test the weight or the balance of your garage door. First thing you got to do, pull the emergency release so you can use the door manually. Now that the door is released, I'm going to open it manually. I'm going to check the weight of the door. Shouldn't feel heavy, 5, 10 pounds at most. And I'm going to test the balance of the door. Should stop in 3 positions, about a quarter to a third of the way up, halfway up, and about 3/4 of the way up. Now that I've checked the balance and the weight of the door, I'm going to check to see that it runs smooth, that it runs quiet, it doesn't hang up on anything, and that it closes completely to the ground. You want to make sure these brackets attached to the track aren't loose in any way, that none of the wood is split. You want to operate the door, make sure the track doesn't move around on you. Now when you're working the door manually, make sure you keep your fingers out of the joints between the panels. It's very easy to slip a finger in there and get it stuck. If you found the video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button. If you want to learn more about garage doors and garage door openers, go ahead and subscribe to the link down below. I'm Joe Conti with Precision Door. I'll see you next time.